Hello, brothers and sisters of the light, fellow star seeds, way showers, light bringers, change makers, and the grid workers. I am Julie Joy, your servant of the light, with another message from the ninth dimensional Arcturian Council as channeled by Daniel Scranton for December 9th, 2022. And the title of this message is Your Illogical Spiritual Path. And they begin, greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are always attempting to find just the right combination of energies and galactic light codes to send to all of you. And when we find a combination that works, we stick with it for a while. We want to see whether there is a cumulative effect when you are bombarded with the same energies and galactic light codes over and over again. But there always comes a time when we have to make a change in the formula, and by mixing it up, we give you something new, something different, something that will tickle you in just the right way, or at least that is always the desire on our part. We invite you to do the same with yourselves. You might find that you are outgrowing something, even if it is something that once gave you great pleasure, or once was a spiritual practice that you got so much out of. It doesn't mean that you will always get the same results, and that is true because you are expanding and growing all the time. You have something there on earth called rituals, and rituals can be very effective when they are needed and when they are used appropriately. But you can also stop benefiting from them and not even realize it, or you might fear that if you let go of the ritual, you will somehow regress spiritually. We want you to know that you will never regress spiritually. You will always remain on an upward spiral until you ascend, and there will be paths that you take that will be short and paths that you will take that will be longer. And at the end of it all, you can lump them all together and call them your spiritual path, even if it doesn't seem to make any logical sense. The thing about life that is hard for an ego or a mind to understand is that it's never going to make sense when you look at the bigger picture, and it doesn't have to make sense. And it's okay if your life isn't making sense to you. It's okay if your spiritual path is not clearly laid out in front of you. Please remember that you get to make course corrections all the time, and you don't have to explain yourself or your decisions to anyone. We in the higher realms understand because we can see how life on earth is very chaotic, and we can see how much variety you have there to choose from. And you are supposed to explore as much of that variety as you possibly can. Be consistent in your groundedness, in being present, in checking in with your feelings, and in being heart-centered. But otherwise, let your path be spontaneous and let it emerge in front of you in every other moment of every day. And don't worry what anyone else thinks about it, because it is your journey and yours alone. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Now, I know I always say there's a lot of very interesting things about these messages because I find each one of them quite interesting. But something that they hit on today was, sometimes whether it's mantras or certain spiritual practices. For me, I must admit, because I'm a creator, I'm kind of a YouTube junkie. There are people that people have referred me to, and I'm all gung-ho, and I listen to everything they do, and I can get quite addicted to doing this for a while. And I have certain people I've followed for a long time, like the ninth dimensional Arcturian Council. But generally speaking, after a few months or a few weeks or even a few days, I realize that person just really isn't suiting what I'm looking for, and I move on to something else. So I'm happy to know that they're all okay with that, and that we can just go along at our own pace. That's great news. This marvelous message was channeled by Daniel Scranton. His own website is danielscranton.com. I will be able to post the words below in the Show More section. I am Julie Joy, your servant of the light, always honored and grateful to be able to bring these powerful messages to each one of you. There's something in these messages for everybody.